Dad Omar, friend Diana, and Jania. Next we have Denise Wright, escorted by her mom Lorraine and friend Bella. Now we have Devon Wilson, escorted by her dad, Dana Wilson, and brother Deshaun. Next we have Jessica Rivera, escorted by her mom Evelyn, and best friends Maya and Gail. Next we have Tatiana Martinez, escorted by her dad Jason, brothers Jason and Justin, and friend Storm. Next up we have Solimar, Heredia, and friends Michaela and
And good evening and welcome to the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the campus of Wilby High School, the George Torado Court. This is DETSportsMedia.com's presentation of Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball, seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Good evening, Mitch Beck along with Deb Thoreau. We're going to bring you a great game this evening. On the game of the week, it is the Wilby Wildcats at home, coached by Alan Piccolo, against the visiting St. Paul Catholic Varsity Boys basketball team who traveled down from Bristol. They have an 11-8 record, 5-3 within the league in Connecticut. They are ranked number 70 overall. Wilby here on senior night has Randy Naiman as the umpire, and Anthony Bagnoli will be our referee this evening. The two teams are heading over to their respective benches. We have 30 seconds left in warm-ups. We will have the introductions and, of course, the national anthem, and then the DET Sports Media presentation of the Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball Game of the Week right here on Waterbury Cable 16 and, of course, on YouTube. As you can see, the St. Paul Catholic boys are going by their head coach, Steve Phelps, and going through the entire coaching staff, and it looks like the JV team as well. Nice to see that kind of love amongst teammates and coaches. Very special. All right, this is going to be the starting lineup for St. Paul. That's number 2, Rudy Otero, who's a senior. All the seniors are starting tonight. That's number 3, Will Barton. Number 5, A.J. Brooks. Number 11, Noah Waters. And number 15, Jack Nolly. Interesting little ritual. Now the Wilby boys are going to come out, and they are starting all of their seniors tonight. Number 22, Raekwon James. Number 3, Andreas Urena. Number 13, Deshaun Wilson. Number 23, Jonathan Mateus. And finally, number 24, Terrell Blue. It's a lively crowd here, packed house in the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium for this game this evening on senior night. So if you wouldn't mind, we're going to take the national anthem, and then we'll get underway. Incidentally, the Wildcat cheerleaders were also given honors before the game. That was nice to see as well. I believe we'll have that for you in the presentation, the broadcast as well. So the two teams are gathered around their respective benches getting final instructions. Alan Piccolo giving the Wildcat boys their final direction. And Steve Phelps over with the St. Paul Catholic Falcons. They're getting their last direction from Coach Phelps. Randy Naiman is the umpire. Anthony Bagnoli is the referee. You're there, we're here. Everybody's accounted for. Let's play some basketball. In case you're familiar or not familiar, at high school basketball level, we play 4 8-minute quarters, as opposed to 12 or 15, depending upon whether you're in college or the pros. Will Barton is going to jump center against Terrell Blue. Wilby heading from your left to your right. St. Paul Catholic heading from your right to your left. Welcome to the Varsity Game of the Week. Mitch Beck with you, Deb Thoreau. And we are about to get underway. And the ball is right off the tip by St. Paul Catholic. Noah Waters gives it up. The ball moves around the perimeter. Rudy Otero back with the ball again. Noah Waters. He pulls up for a three. Waters says that's no good. And it's rebounded by Raekwon James. Gives it up to Urena, back to James, back into the middle to Mateus. That pass is blocked and taken away by Will Barton. And back comes the Falcons. Up top to Barton. Looking to get Noah Waters started. Nice move along the baseline. That one's in and out, and then followed up and in by A.J. Brooks, the senior center. Raekwon James gives it up. That was very close to a walk. Raekwon James has it back up top. 2-3 zone for the Falcons. There's a shot, and just like that, Deshaun Wilson puts it in the hoop, and we're even again at 2 aside. Nice pass down low to Barton, and he's going to get called for a travel. Guys are thinking shot before they have the position. Full court pressure here. Jack Noley was showing press for a moment, as was Rudy Otero, but they backed off. Ball is knocked away. Noley get his hands on it. And Barton brings him up front. Nice pass into the middle. Good movement. That's a travel as well. Can't take steps without dribbling. And that's exactly what Noah Waters did in that spot. I don't know why he was unhappy about that. That was about as crystal clear as it gets. Raekwon James goes between the legs. Manning up on Jack Noley. Urena goes baseline, dumps it in low. And there's another one that's an attempt to keep it in by Rudy Otero, but it doesn't work. Ball will stay with the Wildcats underneath the Falcon net. Ball thrown out back to James. Matthias with it. Gets it back. Opens up for a three. That goes off the back of the rim and rebounded nicely by Brooks. Here's a three from Waters. That's no good. Rebounded for a moment by A.J. Brooks, but it's turned over. Mateus has people open. Urena has the layup. Up and in. 4-2. Quickly back the other way. Noah Waters. Will Barton pulls up for a short jumper. That goes in and out and rebounded by Raekwon James. He comes into the forecourt. He's got Noli on him. Pass in the middle is tipped away. And the Falcons come back. Jumper, pull up. Off the glass and in for Rudy Otero. For each side. Mateus gives it back to Raekwon James. James tries to get some room. And another turnover. Urena is able to retrieve it. Kicks it out to Mateus. He takes a couple of steps, throws it off the glass, and it's good. Back and forth we go. 6-4 currently for the Wildcats. Rudy Otero looking for some help. Noah Brooks back to Otero, to Will Barton. Barton back to Otero. Kicked into the corner, a three for Noah Waters, and he hits that one. And it's 7-6 with 4:16 up on the clock. Mateus gives it up to Urena. They look to clear the side. Mateus loses the handle on it. It goes out of bounds. And they're going to say it went off Mateus' leg. Coming in is Jeremiah Tripp. And Justin Parker taking a seat is number 24, Terrell Blue, and number 13, Deshaun Wilson, two seniors getting a few minutes at play. Noah Waters now works the ball outside. That one's thrown out of bounds. Otero tried to get a hand on it, but couldn't. And went out of bounds, a turnover. And Wilby will start with it. Just in front of their bench, Raekwon James with the ball. He's manned up by Jack Noli. Kicked out quickly. And there's Justin Parker, looks for the three. It's no good. Rebounded by Barton. He pushes the tempo up into the forecourt. Kicks it back out for another three. And nothing but the bottom of the net for Noah Walters. And they open up a 4-point lead, their largest of the game. Urena into the forecourt. Kicks it out to James. James works it down low. Kicked outside for Jeremiah Tripp. His first shot from three goes off the rim. And quickly back the other way is Jack Noli. Noah Waters is feeling it. Hits another three. And just like that, it's a 7-point lead with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Tripp looking to move the ball around to Mateus. Mateus goes baselines, run out of room, and he takes steps. Checking into the game is Gio Cruz. Andreas Urena is going to go take a seat for Wilby. And Noah Waters has found a rhythm. There's a three for Barton. That rolls off the rim. Jeremiah Tripp is there. Looks to bring it into the forecourt and does. Goes with a nice crossover move. Gets by Noli. Gives it up to Raekwon James. They play give and go. Tripp, his shot's no good. Otero now pulls it up short. That goes off the backboard. And quickly up the other way. Gio Cruz, and it's good. 13-8 now. Noah Waters kicks it up to Otero. Otero looks for some help. Goes up top to Waters. Waters tries to get it down low. Gets it back out wide. He pulls up for another three, and that one's no good. And a rebound. Mateus stepped on the line. The ball will stay with St. Paul Catholic. Falcons off to a good start. Noah Waters looked a little shaky at first, but he hit 3 threes in a row. Quick pass into Barton. Barton goes up and is fouled. They're going to call that on Gio Cruz. That'll be the first foul of the game. Barton will shoot 2 on the first one. Goes off the back of the rim. No good. He'll shoot the second now. And he misses that one as well. Justin Parker with the rebound. Nice play by Jack Nolly to intercept the pass from Raekwon James. Goes up to Barton, and he's fouled by Justin Parker on the alley-oop attempt, and he'll shoot 2. Barton now stepping up his game. Barton is 6'4", and he's a junior. Young man's got some growing, and he's already 6'4". This one he hits. Checking into the game is John Carlos Rivera. Mateus takes a seat. Coach Piccolo using most of his bench tonight. Rebounded nicely by Rivera. Up the Tripp. Raekwon James now. Surveys the floor. Has Tripp. They think about going across to Gio Cruz. They get it to him. He pulls up for 3. That one hits the rim. And a nice rebound by Rivera. And they'll start all over again. Raekwon James goes with speed. He gets it taken away from him. Back the other way. Quickly. And a nice layup there by Jack Nolly. Otero is also wide open. That hits Jeremiah Tripp in the foot. Goes out of bounds. Checking into the game is Alex Partika. And Barton takes a seat. Here's Otero. Gets it down low. Nice strong move to the hoop, and it's going to count. A.J. Brooks goes glass and is fouled. That's going to be Justin Parker's second. Raekwon James checks out of the game, as does Justin Parker. Urena is back in, as is Deshaun Wilson. See, Coach Phelps is speaking with Noah Waters. That free throw is missed. And it's a 10-point lead right now, largest of the game. Urena looks to force it. Cruz thinking 3 again. Long 3 is good. 32 seconds left now in the first quarter. Otero looks, gets some help. Coach Phelps telling him he wants them to play for the last shot with 18 seconds. Nolly swings it around. There's a 3, and it rolls off the rim and taken away and then taken back. Time's running out with 4 seconds. Cruz has it roll off the rim. Tripp shoots it after, and that's going to be no good. At the end of 1 quarter of play, the visiting St. Paul Catholic Falcons have a 7-point lead, 18-11 after 1. And we really are happy to have you along with us on a Tuesday night for this DETSportsMedia.com presentation of Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball that's seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable Channel 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Mitch Beck along with Deb Thoreau. And we've got senior night balloons, flowers, and all other sorts of accoutrements. Here on George Torado Court in the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the campus of Wilby High School. Horn sounds. Teams are finishing up their instruction from their respective coaches, and we will get underway for the second quarter. Entertaining first period St. Paul, who's visiting here from Bristol, getting 3 3-pointers from Noah Waters. That was the big difference right now. Gio Cruz starting to find a rhythm. Possession now favors Wilby, and they will continue to head from your left to your right. St. Paul Catholic will go from your right in the black uniform with the red trim, and they will head from your right to your left. Jeremiah Tripp snaps it into the corner for Cruz. He's thinking 3 again, and we have a foul away from the ball. That's going to go on Rivera. That's his first. And with the turnover, the Falcons will come into Wildcat territory. Ball worked down low. Otero was thinking about going baseline. It doesn't go that way. They set up another play, a pick coming air. Otero loses the handle momentarily, gets it down low. And there'll be a foul on A.J. Brooks. And that's his first. Well, I didn't call a foul. I guess I called traveling. Back the other way we go. Noah Waters. He's been hot from 3. Throws it up off the glass, and it goes. Rudy Otero has been very solid. And we have a foul. That's going to go against Noah Waters. That's his first. Checking into the game is Tom Lorenzetti. And Otero will go take a seat. Raekwon James and Matias are back into the game. Justin Parker has 2 fouls right now. He's still sitting on the bench. Tripp now throws a runner. Doesn't go. And we have a foul away from the ball. I think that's going to go on Matias. It does. That's his first. Alan Piccolo looking to get his team motivated for a push here. The last game they got one late. If you remember, they got down by as much as 18 points and managed to find their way to win. Matias with a rebound. He finds Tripp. He has Raekwon James, goes behind the back and pulls up. Urena has it. Looking for movement. Kicks it out to Raekwon James, back up to Tripp. Tripp thought about a 3. Pulls up inside the zone. And it's no good. Urena with the rebound. He pulls up for 3. That's no good. And rebounded by Lorenzetti. And he looks to go by Urena and does. Kicks it into the corner to the very hot Noah Waters. He front rims it. And Urena gets the rebound. Gives it up to Raekwon James, who goes to the baseline. His shot is short. And Lorenzetti is there. Lorenzetti brings it into the forecourt, goes down the middle, whips it up. No foul is called. He just plowed into the Wildcat player. And now we have a travel on Urena. Will Barton is going to check back into the game, and Noah Waters goes to take a seat. Steve Phelps is talking to A.J. Brooks, telling him to slow down, be more methodical in what he's doing. That message gets to Jack Nolly, and they slow down a bit. Martin. Brooks. Partika. And a bump and go. Barton goes off the glass. It's no good. And a good job going hard to the glass as A.J. Brooks getting the rebound, putting it in. And it's an 11-point lead, the largest of the game. Pass down low to Mateus. Kicks it out to Urena. He shoots for three. That's no good. And Barton has it. Partika gets it off to Noli. Barton goes to the roof. Hack, I'm sorry. Gets his rebound and finishes it himself. And with that, makes it a 13-point margin. And Alan Piccolo will take a timeout with 4 minutes and 39 seconds left in the first half. They've just about doubled their lead that they started with in the quarter. It was 18-11 when we started the second. It is now 24-11. Wilby has gone almost 4 minutes, almost half the quarter, without putting a bucket in the register. Wilby currently has 5 team fouls. The visiting Falcons have only 1. That one was on Noah Waters. Justin Parker has 2. Matthias has 1. Gio Cruz has 1. And John Carlos Rivera has 1. Tripp will give it to Raekwon James to inbound. And back we go as the clock ticks here in the second quarter. Tripp gets it to Raekwon James. More pressure coming from Trinity Catholic. And the ball hits A.J. Brooks in the foot. Jack Noli goes and takes a seat. Checking back into the game is number 2, Rudy Otero, the senior guard. Tripp looks for help, finds Gio Cruz. He pulls up for 3. That's off the rim. Tripp rebounds, throws it at the hoop. It goes in. It'll count, and he'll go to the line. They're going to call that on Lorenzetti. That'll be his first. Tripp will try and get this a little closer, get it to a 10-point game. He front rims it. And Partika is the one with the rebound. That was very close to a travel for Otero. Kicked out to Barton. Barton goes baseline. Swings his arms around, goes glass and in. And it's back to a 13-point margin. Moved quickly to Tripp. Tripp took steps again. Wilby having a little bit of difficulty focusing. Generally, when you're taking this many traveling calls, it's either you're overly worked up or you're just not as focused as you would be. And it's understandable. It is senior night. And we've got a number of seniors playing in this one. So it's understandable. And head coach Steve Phelps, calls for a timeout. He looks a little concerned with Lorenzetti there. Goes to the board and is showing his players what he wants. Alan Piccolo also has the board out. Okay, and we're back now. Lorenzetti set up the play that Coach Phelps called for. Lorenzetti almost looked like he took steps there. Barton gets it back up to Lorenzetti, across to Otero. Otero, he took steps. And Justin Parker now is going to check back into the game. Deshaun Wilson goes to take a seat. I don't think I remember seeing so many traveling calls in one particular game. Partika goes back and takes a seat. Checking back into the game is Noah Waters. Waters is a 6-foot senior. He's had a good game thus far. Raekwon James guarded by Rudy Otero. Cruz gets it to Tripp. And Tripp up to Raekwon James. Raekwon James turned across. Back to Cruz, has it back and is looking for some help. Tripp gives it to him. Back to James. James goes hard to the hoop, throws up a floater, and it goes. And back the other way now comes St. Paul Catholic. Kicked into the corner for Barton. Moving into the middle. Three-pointer there. No good. Noah Waters seems to have cooled off a bit from three-point land. And there'll be a turnover. There's a foul on Lorenzetti. That's his second. So checking back into the game is Jack Noley. And Lorenzetti goes and takes a seat. Jeremiah Tripp enters the forecourt. Pushes it into the corner, back to him. Tripp goes behind the back, up top to Raekwon James. Back to Tripp. Tripp thinks three. Gives it to Mateus. He turns. He fires. His shot is no good, and Barton makes a rebound. Otero now brings it into the forecourt with 2 minutes and change. That goes off the bottom of the rim. Raekwon James has it for a moment. He loses it, and he gets it to Tripp. Tripp goes hard. I don't know how he didn't get called for a travel, but he does. He gets away with it, and he gets the bucket. And it's a 9-point lead with under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Barton has it back. He gets Parker up in the air, and they swing the ball nicely. Otero goes baseline. He throws it right into A.J. Brooks' knees, and it goes out of bounds. Partika comes back in the game. And A.J. Brooks, the senior 6'4" center, will get a breather. Raekwon James with Rudy Otero on him, forces him wide. Justin Parker gives it back, and James comes to the other side. He's telling Jeremiah Tripp to go to the other side, and he does. Cross the top to Parker. He goes hard to the baseline, goes off the glass and in. And it's a 7-point game with 1:10 to go. That ball is short. Justin Parker takes it away off the Noley shot. And Tripp goes between his legs nicely. Raekwon James. Tripp sets up for three and hits. And what was once a 13-point lead is now 4 with less than a minute to go. Otero gives it up to Noley. Partika, he looks for help. And Barton, who's been hot. Partika pulls up for three. That hits the rim. It's rebounded off of Barton. And it will go back off the other way. 28.6 seconds on the clock. A 4-point margin. After being down by as many as 13, it's now only 4. Jeremiah Tripp. He goes hard, dumps it off to Mateus. Mateus gets in trouble. He pulls up, goes off the glass, and no good. Barton now with less than 10 to go. Loses it for a moment. Quickly around, and at the buzz, that one's short. And that is how we will end the first half, with what was once a 13-point lead is now just 4 at the half, as it's a 26-22 lead for St. Paul Catholic over the home Wilby Wildcats. Stick around. We'll be back with all the halftime stats in the second half of the game of this DETSportsMedia.com presentation of Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball, seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Stick around. And welcome back to the George Torado Court in the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the campus of Wilby High School in Waterbury, Connecticut. Good evening. Mitch Beck with you. Deb Thoreau here for this DET Sports Media presentation of Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball, seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable 16 and, of course, on YouTube. We have a good game for you tonight. Wilby Wildcats trailing the St. Paul Catholic Falcons by the score of 26-22. Here's your halftime statistics for the visiting Falcons. Jack Noley, number 15, he has 2 points. Number 2, Rudy Otero, has also got a bucket. Will Barton has 1 foul and 5 points. He's number 3. Number 5, A.J. Brooks, has 6 points. Number 11, Noah Waters, he's got 1 foul and 11 points, and that sums up the Falcons and their 26 points. For the home Wildcats, Andreas Urena, number 3, has got 2 points. Number 11, Jeremiah Tripp, has 7. Deshaun Wilson, number 13, has 2. John Carlos Rivera, number 15, just has 1 foul. Gio Cruz, number 21, has 5 points. Raekwon James, number 22, has 2 points. Number 23, Jonathan Mateus, has 2 fouls and 2 points. And number 35, Justin Parker, also has 2 fouls, and he has 2 points. Teams have gone to their various locker areas to discuss what went down in the first half. Alan Piccolo probably looking to get his team be a little bit more patient, think things through. They took an overabundance of traveling calls, whereas the Falcons under Steve Phelps have got to just continue to make some shots. They were dominating pretty much defensively for most of the first half, but just couldn't finish. But when they did, they were able to build themselves a 13-point lead that the Wildcats have chipped away at, and now that lead is just 4 points. So the teams are getting their final instructions and will come out to center court. The possession arrow favors the Wildcats. Wildcats wearing their green and white uniforms. The visiting St. Paul Catholic Falcons in black with dark blue and red, making it next to impossible to read. But that's occupational hazard for me and just a joy for you. Actually, I'm sorry, I forgot that they switched sides. So that possession arrow actually now favors St. Paul Catholic. So they will start with the ball. Jack Noley will throw it in, and we're underway in the second half. Noley gives it up to Will Barton. Will Barton looking to see if he's got any cutters. There are none. Looking to move the ball around nicely. Otero has it. Brings it back up top, being a lot more patient now. Ball kicked down low for a jump shot. That goes in and out for Otero, and it's rebounded by Parker. Raekwon James looks to give it off. Will Barton steals it. Then Jeremiah Tripp takes it right back, and he's fouled. And that's going to go against Jack Noley. Little sloppy play from both teams there. Not able to get any possession and move the ball. So Noley picks up his first. 31 seconds into the second half. Tripp throws it all the way back to Raekwon James. Goes back to Tripp. Tripp thinks three. Moves quickly and goes off the glass and in. We have a 2-point game. 13-point lead has become 2. Barton has it stuffed. Quickly pushed down low to Barton. Barton's pass is picked off by Tripp. And the Wildcats with Gio Cruz have a chance to tie this game up. Raekwon James takes it away. And it's thrown over the top to Tripp. Tripp goes to the middle, pulls up, gets his own rebound past Barton, goes behind the back to Cruz. Raekwon James has it and sends it down low to Justin Parker, who ties it up. 13 points are now gone. We're even. Barton gives it up. And Noley has it. Otero and Noley playing catch. And that shot is no good. And a foul. That's going to get called on A.J. Brooks. That'll be his first. That's his first foul. Team's second. Went over the back. Jeremiah Tripp now. This is literally their first time in a long time. That is going to be no good. That's going to go on Jeremiah Tripp for a charge. That's his first foul. Would have been a basket had he not. But we're still even. It's 6:14 to go in the third quarter. Noley off to Otero. Otero to Waters. Back across to Barton. Then Noley back to Barton. Out wide for Waters. He's thinking three. And it's no good. Rebounded by Justin Parker, who gives it up to Jeremiah Tripp. And Wilby will once again have another chance at regaining the lead, which they haven't had since early in the first quarter. Swung around to Gio Cruz. Gio Cruz gives it back to James. James for three is Tripp, and it's good. And with that, Wilby takes their biggest lead of the game. And that pass is broken up. Jonathan Mateus gets his hand in the lane. And St. Paul Catholic inbounds. Otero looks for some help. Kicked up top to Waters. Waters gives it down low to Barton. And we have a foul that's going to go on Mateus. That's his third. Mateus is going to have to come out of the game. Alan Piccolo looking to get player in. Barton misses a shot. And coming in will be John Carlos Rivera. Mateus will take a seat with 3 fouls. And coming back into the game is Thomas Lorenzetti. Checking out is Jack Noley. Full court pressure here. At least they show it, does the Falcons. Tripp now. He has James. James at the top. Looking for some help. Moved nicely down low. There's a kick. And the ball will go underneath. Just under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. 29-26, the home Wildcats now lead after erasing a 13-point margin. Jeremiah Tripp pulls up for 3 and hits it. It's a 19-point turn of events here. Barton, he goes to the hoop. And John Carlos Rivera will pick up his second foul. Barton will go to the line to shoot 2. This has been quite the drought for St. Paul Catholic. 4:44 up on the clock. And it's a 6-point margin, largest lead of the game for the Wildcats. Barton looking to end that. Or excuse me, that's Brooks, not Barton. I apologize. Brooks misses the first. Misses the second. And that'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Wilby, and they will get the ball back. St. Paul Catholic showing a press, but they back out of it. Just mild pressure. Raekwon James has Otero on him. Back to Tripp. Tripp gives it up. Justin Parker gets it to Raekwon James. Otero on him. Raekwon James gets a step, and that's going to count. That's going to count. That's going to go on Otero, his first. It's an 8-point margin now for the home Wildcats. They can make it as many as 9. Back into the game is Alex Partika. And that's missed, so 8 is the margin. Largest of the game for the Wildcats. Barton goes to the middle, drops it down to Brooks, and that's going to count. And a foul. That's going to get called on number 11, Jeremiah Tripp. That's his second. He's going to have to come out. Andreas Urena comes in for Raekwon James. John Carlos Rivera goes out. And Deshaun Wilson is back in. Tripp will continue to play with the 2 fouls. Brooks now to shoot. Make it a 3-point play, and does. And we've got a 5-point difference. Lorenzetti there with Tripp. Justin Parker now. And they're going to get a block. I think they're going to call Partika for that one. Yep. That'll go on Partika. That's his first. Both teams have 4 fouls now in the second half. Barton with a good play. Gets whistled. And Urena will pick up the foul. That's his first. Team's 5th. Lorenzetti inbounds. Noah Waters with it. Gives it up. Partika with it. Swings it around to Barton. Barton gets it back to Partika at the top, playing the point. Lorenzetti gets it down low, and a great pass. And Brooks puts it in. Nice play. It's a 3-point game. Urena. He's got Waters on him. Looking for a screen, and a foul will be called. That'll go on Noah Waters. That's his second. Mateus checks back in. Justin Parker now steps out. Parker has 2 fouls. Mateus is playing with 3. 3:35 left in the third quarter. Urena hesitates for a moment. Jeremiah Tripp hits a 3. And we're back to a 6-point margin. 37-31. The home Wildcats leading the Falcons. Nice ball movement here by St. Paul Catholic. And there's a 3 for Alex Partika. Urena gives it up to Mateus. Mateus makes a move on Partika, kicks it back out. Shooting for 3, and short is Urena. Barton moves it quickly to Partika. Partika to Water. There's a 3 for Barton. That goes in and out of the rim. And I believe they're going to get Brooks, for coming over the top, and they do. That's his second. That's a 6-team foul already on St. Paul Falcons. With 2:46 to go, these teams are both going to spend most of the fourth quarter shooting 1-and-1s and 2s. They don't keep it up, or they continue to keep it up. Urena now working on Barton. Jeremiah Tripp now. He pulls up for a 3. That one rolls off. And they're going to get Mateus for his 4th. He's going to have to check out, and he does. Back in is Justin Parker. That was kind of risky on Alan Piccolo's part, putting Mateus in, one of his starting 5 and a senior. We won't be seeing him for a while now with 4 fouls. Partika pulls up for 3. That's no good, off the rebound. And we have another foul. And it looks like that will go on number 3, Will Barton. And it does. It's his second. And that puts the Wildcats in the bonus. They're shooting 1-and-1. Very early to be doing that. Barton will go take a seat. Number 15, Jack Noli comes in, the senior guard, 5'11". 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Parker makes the first. He'll get the second now. Parker sets and shoots. That one's rimmed. Partika with the rebound. Nice ball movement. Trying to find some space for Noah Waters. There's the 3 from Lorenzetti. That's no good. Barton with the rebound. Brooks with the rebound. And he puts it away. 38-36 now. Jeremiah Tripp. Thinks 3, pulls up for 3, and hits. Minute 50 to go. Noah Waters looks for some help and finds it. Noli gets it to Partika. Partika to Waters, get it down low to Brooks. Excellent ball movement. Lorenzetti for 3, that's no good. Urena took steps, didn't get called, and he comes back the other way and makes a bucket. It's back up to a 7-point lead. Was just within 2, now it's 7. Lorenzetti gives it up. Noli has it. Waters for 3. And that one rolls off the rim. Jeremiah Tripp with the rebound. Quickly up to Urena. Urena gives it off to Cruz. And there's a 3. That one's no good. Stolen momentarily by Deshaun Wilson. And we have a foul. That'll go on Deshaun Wilson. That's his first. But that puts Wilby into the bonus. So A.J. Brooks will go and shoot 1-and-1. 53.9 seconds left in the third. We will be shooting 1-and-1s and bonuses of 2 in the fourth quarter. Unusual to get to that bonus situation so early in the game, but that's where we stand right now. Both teams now in the bonus. Brooks misses, and that's rebounded by Parker. Urena, he pulls it up. Goes between the legs. He pulls up for a 3 and hits it. Largest lead of the game for the Wildcats is 10 points. Was 2 just a moment ago, and it's back up to 10. Little bit of panic right now in St. Paul Catholic. Waters. He missed a shot. Urena pulls up for another 3, and it goes in and out. Gio Cruz for 3. And that one's no good. Fans on their feet. And we have a foul. Justin Parker will take his third. with 12.7 left. It is a 10-point difference for the Wildcats. Checking into the game for the first time is Jackson Sullivan. He's a junior forward for St. Paul Catholic. Back in the game is John Carlos Rivera. Noli hits the first. And shoots the second, misses the second. Lorenzetti almost picked up a foul. Urena goes out of control. Partika takes it, throws it for a long three, and hits the backboard off the rim. And that's how we end the third quarter. After trailing by as many as 13, the Wilby Wildcats have worked their way back to a 9-point lead as we head into the fourth quarter. It's 46-37 with the Wildcats in the lead. 8 team fouls for the home Wildcats, 7 for the visiting Falcons. Be a lot of free throw shooting in this fourth quarter. Be in the bonus rather quickly here. We thank you for joining us for this DET Sports Media presentation of Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball, seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable Channel 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Mitch Beck with you, giving you the play-by-play. The one and only Deb Thoreau giving you all the engineering, the sights and sounds. Doing a magnificent job as usual. Anything less than magnificent is, like, below standard. Magnificent is standard around here, especially when Deb is working the game with me. So we're excited to have you here for the Tuesday night game of the week. It's the Wilby Wildcats and the St. Paul Catholic Falcons here on Cable Channel 16 and YouTube. St. Paul Catholic will start with the ball. Tom Lorenzetti will inbound to Jack Noli. Almost got Lorenzetti to give steps. Didn't work that way. Quick pass and a turnaround off the hand of Jackson Sullivan. And Wilby will go. We're in a 1-2. They were in a 1-2-2 is Trinity Catholic. I keep saying Trinity Catholic. I mean St. Paul Catholic. Pardon me. Tripp goes for the runner. That's going to be a charge. Oh, no, they're not going to call the charge. They're going to call that on Jackson Sullivan. He'll shoot 2. Makes the first. Chance now to make this the largest lead of the game. Make it 11. And he does. An 11-point lead now for the Wilby Wildcats. They have completely turned this game around. They trailed by as many as 13, now lead by 11. That pass was telegraphed. And Deshaun Wilson knocked it out of bounds. Politely goes and chases the ball down. And gives it to Anthony Bagnoli, our referee today. Not much movement. He better get that ball in. Does. Partika, he gets mugged. And he will go to the free throw line. That will go against Deshaun Wilson. That's his second of the game. Partika will shoot 2. Makes the first. Cuts it to 10. Has a chance to make it 9 here. Rudy Otero makes both. Rudy Otero is checking in, and Partika goes and takes a seat after hitting 2 free throws. and getting his team back to within 9. Jeremiah Tripp gives up the dribble to Justin Parker. And Raekwon James has some room. And they're going to get a foul. And they are. That's going to go against Jackson Sullivan. That's his second. And Raekwon James will go and shoot 2. It's the 9th team foul. Both teams have 9. One more for either one. And every foul will be a 2-shot foul. James gets the bounce. Jackson Sullivan goes and takes a seat. Checking back into the game is number 5, A.J. Brooks. He's got 2 fouls that he's playing with. Getting ready to check back in is John Carlos Rivera. And he'll have to wait when the free throw is missed. And here comes Noah Waters. Pulls up for a 3. That's short. Hits the front of the rim. And Raekwon James gets it but loses it. And Tom Lorenzetti finishes. And it's an 8-point game. Full court pressure here. Justin Parker goes the whole way, throws it up and over. And quickly, that will be the 3rd foul on A.J. Brooks. And that'll be a 2-shot foul. And from here on out, every foul from St. Paul Catholic will be a 2-shot shooting foul. Wilby still in 1-1 for one more foul, and then every foul therefore will be 2-shot fouls. Parker hits the first. Partika checks back in, as does Will Barton. Rudy Otero and Tom Lorenzetti go and take a seat. Parker shoots the second. That's no good. Barton gets the rebound. There's a little confusion there with Noah Waters momentarily. That was one of those I got it, you take it moments. Nice move to Barton inside. Kicked out to 3 for Waters for 3 and hits it. 6-point game now. And a timeout taken by Alan Piccolo. As St. Paul Catholic has knifed away 5 points off their 11-point lead and cut it down to 6 with 6:36 on the clock. Still left to be played here in the 4th quarter in the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the campus of Wilby High School. It's the George Torado Court here in Waterbury. This DET Sports Media presentation in Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball is seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable Channel 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Thank you for joining us tonight for the Tuesday night game of the week. We've had a good one. We'll be in our last game that we had with them. Came back from 18 points down to win. They've come back from 13 points and now have themselves a 6-point lead with 6:36 left on the clock. St. Paul Catholic has 10 fouls, and Wilby has 9. Jeremiah Tripp will inbound. Full court pressure shown by St. Paul Catholic, who come to us from Bristol. Raekwon James gives it up, a turnover. Lorenzetti gets it and gives it up to Rudy Otero. Otero kicks it out for a 3. That's short. Rebounded by Lorenzetti. He throws it back to the net and gets it. And it's a 4-point game. We'll be having trouble again with the full court pressure. Brooks takes it away. Going baseline, back to Brooks. He gets the roll. And just like that, it's a 2-point game. And Alan Piccolo is going to call timeout. They were down by 11. Now they're down by 2. 6:01. Alan Piccolo is going to have to review with his Wildcats how to handle a full court press. As his boys are turning the ball over, the long passes in a 1-2-2 are going to be picked off every single time. And if you try and dribble it into the corner, you're going to get trapped. And that's what's happened on these last 2 possessions. They've led to turnovers and quick buckets for St. Paul Catholic. Just a couple of moments ago, it was an 11-point lead for the Wildcats. It's now 2. Terrific game being played here by St. Paul Catholic and the Wilby Wildcats. Horn sounds, the teams will come out. I'm sure that won't be the last time out of the game. Alan Piccolo drew up what he wants. And we'll get full court pressure here. Andreas Urena and Jeremiah Tripp down low. Gio Cruz out wide. And here comes the pressure again. It's 1-2-1. Or 2-2-1, excuse me. Quickly move to Justin Parker. Gio Cruz pulls up for 3, and that's short. Rebounded nicely by Noah Waters. Into the forecourt with a chance to tie the game. Thomas Lorenzetti pulls up for 3 and hits. And now St. Paul Catholic has reversed an 11-point deficit and turned it into a 1-point lead. And we have a foul called, I believe, on Lorenzetti. That'll be his second. That's the 10th foul. That should be a two-shot shooting foul. Or are they saying it's 1-1? Changed it to 2. That's what I thought. And we're tied. Partika's going to come into the game for Rudy Otero. Tripp shoots a second, makes a second, and it's a 1-point lead again for Wilby. Waters gets it across. Back to Waters. He pulls up for the jumper. It's no good. Partika is there. He took steps, and it's called. Otero comes back in the game. Partika takes a seat. And here comes the full court pressure. It's 1-2-1-1. Wide open in the corner was Mateus. Tripp goes through the middle, and he turns it over. Otero with it. Mateus reaches in. And Otero with 5:05 left on the clock. 1-point deficit for St. Paul Catholic. In the corner, Lorenzetti back up top to Otero. He has nothing. Otero now thinks about a shot, gets it across the top to Waters. Waters to Noli. Back to Waters, into the corner to Lorenzetti. Gets it down low to Barton. He throws it against the glass. And they're going to say that Rudy Otero stepped out of bounds with 4:37 to go. Inbounded. Here's the full court pressure again. Urena gets it up to Parker. Into the corner. Jeremiah Tripp pulls up for a jumper. Yes! 54-51. Clutch shot there from Jeremiah Tripp. Lorenzetti finds Waters. He's open. Gets it down low to Barton. Out to Otero for 3. Yes! And we're even at 54 with 4:01 to go. Gio Cruz and Urena now. Urena looks to pass it down low. Justin Parker puts it in. Went off Matias's hands, and right there was Parker, and it's a 2-point lead for the Wildcats. Otero looking to get it low to Barton. He does. To Brooks. Brooks goes baseline, kicks it out to Lorenzetti for 3, and that's no good. Kicked up the court quickly. Urena pulls up. He shoots the three, and no good. Back comes Otero with 3:15 to go. Waters now looks for some help, and there's Otero kicked into the corner. And back around the top of the perimeter. Otero looking to the corner. Baseline move is taken away. Lorenzetti kicks it out to Noli for three, and that's no good. Urena has it and kicked out nicely, and they're going to say that Otero stepped out of bounds with 2:51 and a 2-point lead for the Wildcats. Urena will have it in the forecourt. Raekwon James back in the game. Urena is going to take a seat. Jeremiah Tripp will inbound. James has it in the backcourt. He's met there by Lorenzetti. Raekwon James now sets up. Raekwon James comes down the middle, gives it off to Matthias, and he hits! And it's 4 points with 2:33 to go for the Wildcats. Looking to get a win on senior night. Moved nicely down low. And a foul. Who are they going to get for it? I didn't see. That's going to go on number 23, Jonathan Matthias. If it does, that's his final foul of the game. Are they calling it on Matthias? They are. That's going to do it for Matthias. He fouls out with 2:24 to go. Checking into the game is Deshaun Wilson. And that's how his regular season career will end. Matthias is a senior. Brooks hits the first. Make it a one-possession game. An important shot here. Could make it a 2-point game. And he gets a roll. Little drama for all the fans. 2:24 to go, 2-point game. Both teams now will shoot 2 fouls on every foul going forward. Raekwon James working on Lorenzetti. Lorenzetti staying with him. Jeremiah Tripp. And he gets clobbered going through the middle, but it's a turnover. Otero gives it up to Waters for 3, and he hits! Alan Piccolo calls a timeout with 1:59 to go. And St. Paul Catholic has fought back to a 1-point lead with under 2 to go. What a game. This has just been awesome. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. Fans certainly exuberant, to say the least. I'm using my multi-syllable words today. Fans quite loud here tonight on senior night, as you expect they would be, wanting to send off their home Wilby Wildcats seniors off with a win. Unfortunately, St. Paul Catholic has not wanted to go away. They led by as many as 13. They now lead by 1. Wilby's led by as many as 11 and now trail by 1. It's been a great game. So much fun to bring this to you here with DETSportsMedia.com's presentation of Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball, seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Mitch Beck, Deb Thoreau bringing you this exciting basketball action on the Tuesday night game of the week. Less than 2 minutes to go. Full court pressure shown by St. Paul Catholic. Lorenzetti will stand right in front of Jeremiah Tripp. Ray Otero is there. Justin Parker gets it. And he turns. He's on Barton. Otero now on Raekwon James. Gio Cruz has the ball hit off of Noah Waters' shoe. Possession hour right now favors the Wildcats. And they inbound it to Raekwon James. James and Otero go one-on-one. James gives it up. Deshaun Wilson, I think they're going to get him for a travel. No, they're going to call Otero. And this will be a two-shot foul. Deshaun Wilson in his senior season has a chance with 1:40 to get his team at least tied, if not put ahead by one. Shoots the first, and that one clunks off the backboard. So he'll have a chance to tie it here. He'll need a better form shot for this one. Benzanese shoots and hits, and we're tied with 1:40 to go. And St. Paul Catholic brings it into the front court. Otero looking for some help. Finds Waters. Waters gets it low. And that ball is picked off. Barton was looking for some help down low, doesn't get it. Raekwon James goes to the hoop, throws it up, and it's rebounded by Brooks. Barton now with 1:10 to go. Kicks it out to Otero. Otero's got room. He pulls up for three. No good. Rebounded by Waters. And Waters needs some help. Gets it to Otero. Under a minute to go, and we are tied. Out to Barton. You want to look for the last shot here. Move nicely to Waters. You want to take a good shot if you're St. Paul Catholic here. Under 40 seconds to go. Barton now. He's got Gio Cruz on him. Ray Otero now. Rudy Otero, excuse me. Pass it down low to Barton. Barton all alone and puts it in. 20 seconds to go. And St. Paul Catholic with the lead. Tripp pulls up for three and it's no good. Barton has it hit. It goes off of Barton. The two refs are discussing it. It should be Wilby ball. They're calling a foul. They're calling a foul on Will Barton. Deshaun Wilson is going to shoot. And with that, Steve Phelps, takes a timeout. St. Paul Catholic with a 2-point lead with 12.9 on the clock. Deshaun Wilson, who just missed both free throws in his last attempt, now will have a shot to tie the game. He's going to need to hit both. They're going wild here in the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium. He hits the first. It's a 1-point game with 12.9 to go. Wilson can tie it on this shot. He shoots and he misses. Rebounded. Waters has it. Turned over. Raekwon James makes the basket with 6 seconds to go. Turnover by Waters. Winds up in Raekwon James' hands. He goes to the hoop and makes the bucket. 4.2 on the clock. And the Wildcats have a 1-point lead. This has been one heck of a game. 5.9 is up on the clock. They changed the time. St. Paul Catholic will have the ball. I believe they get it at center court. One thing you can't do if you're Wilby is foul anyone. It's a two-shot foul no matter what. So any kind of foul with 2 free throws would give St. Paul Catholic the win. You have to play some smart defense here. Huge opportunity for the Wildcats, who've come back from 13 points down, 6 points down in the last couple of minutes, and they've regained a 1-point lead with 5.9 seconds left on the clock. St. Paul Catholic is going to have it under their own hoop. All they need is one. Crowd is on their feet. Jack Noley will inbound. Alan Piccolo telling his players where he wants them. Modest pressure being shown. Urena is in. Raekwon James is in. Jeremiah Tripp is in. Inbounded to Waters. Waters gives it up. A shot thrown up at the buzzer. Goes in and out. And it's rebounded. And the victory goes to the Wildcats on senior night. What a finish. The Wilby Wildcats come from 13 points down and win 62-61 on senior night here in the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium. Congratulations to both teams on an outstanding game. Wow, out of words. This is Mitch Beck for Depth Row saying thank you for joining us on this DET Sports Media presentation of Naugatuck Valley Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball, seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Once again, the final score will be Wildcats 62, St. Paul Catholic Falcons 61. Thank you, everybody, and good night.